Okay, now let's look at example 1. So in example 1, part A, find the coordinates of the midpoint. So reminder, for coordinates, you need to find both the x and the y coordinate. So you need to find the midpoint. So just to recap, to find the midpoint, right, you will find the average of the x coordinate and the average of the y coordinates respectively. Okay, so let's look at part 1. The points are A 2, 5 and B -6, -1. So to find the midpoint of AB, okay, you are able to find both the x and y coordinates together. So for the x coordinate, for A is 2, B is -6. So you are going to take the average. So you take 2 plus -6, okay, add them up and then find average by dividing by 2. So similarly, the y coordinates is 5 and -1. So you find the average by taking 5 plus -1, you divide by 2 to find average. So now you can simplify. 2 minus 6, you get -4/2. 5 minus 1, you get 4/2. Simplify further, -2, 2, and you are done. Okay, so let's look for part 2. So C is given to be -3, 4 and D to be 5, 4. Okay, so to find the midpoint, again what we can do is to find the average of the x and y coordinates. So once more, the x coordinate is -3, 5. Okay, so I put a bracket, -3, okay, average you plus, okay, 5, then you divide by 2. So for the y coordinate, 4, 4. Okay, so you can add them up. Okay, and then you find the average. Okay, so you simplify this, you get 2/2. Okay, 8/2, and then you get 1, 4. Okay, just a note that these points, this line segment joining CD, what do you notice? Right, they actually have the same, right, they have the same y coordinate. So what do they mean? What do I mean? Right, so if they have the same y coordinate, they actually lying on the same horizontal line, right? So for example, okay, -3, 4, over here is 5, 4. So they have the same y coordinate, so it's actually a horizontal line. So when it's a horizontal line, what do you expect about the midpoint? The midpoint is somewhere here, so obviously, okay, it also has the same y coordinate, okay, because it's a horizontal line. Right, just a note. Okay, let's do part 3. So I think now should be more familiar. So what we are going to do is do a little faster. Okay, to find the midpoint of DE, so we take the average of the x coordinate. So the average of x coordinate is 5 plus 5/2. Okay, 5 plus 5/2. So 5, 5, right, the x coordinates. Okay, for the y coordinate, you have 4 plus 1/2. Okay, so the y coordinates are over here. So, okay, you can simplify quite fast. You get 5. Okay, the other one is got 5/2. Okay, so you can write the 2.5, or you can write 5/2. So once again, just a note that in this case, okay, they have the same x coordinate. So if you were to try to plot these 2 points, right, you will realize that since they have the same x coordinate, your D, which is 5, 4, and your E, which is 5, 1, will have the same x coordinate, and this will result in it being a vertical line. Okay, it will result in it being a vertical line. So again, if it's lying on the same vertical line, you do expect the midpoint, right, to also have the same x coordinate. Okay, and so that's what we find. Okay, they have the same x coordinate for the midpoint. Okay, now let's take a look at B. Okay, let's read the question first. If the coordinates of the midpoint of the line segment joining P and Q, okay, so P, you know the coordinate is -5, 3, but Q, okay, what happened is Q, your A and B, they are unknown, right? But we know that this 3, 4 is the midpoint. Okay, your job is to find the value of A and of B. Okay, so let's start with what we know. All right, we know that 3, 4 is the midpoint of P and Q. Okay, so let's try to find the midpoint of P and Q. So the midpoint of PQ. Okay, so if you for your reference, right, it's over here, right? This is the formula, right? Or you can think of it as the average of the x and y coordinates. So the midpoint of PQ is, you take the average of the x coordinate. So you take -5 plus A. Okay, so over here x coordinate match with the x coordinate, take the average, so you need to divide by 2, and the y coordinates now is 3 and B. Okay, 3 and B, so you take the average, so you get 3 plus B, again divide by 2. Okay, so and the midpoint of PQ, you are also given the coordinates to be equals to 3, 4. Okay, right, so before we move on, just a note that since you have two unknowns, your A and B, okay, this is unknown, your B is unknown. Okay, so with two unknowns, to solve for two unknowns, you expect to find two equations. Okay, so let's see whether we are able to find the two equations. Okay, so let's continue. The midpoint of PQ, you know, is given to be -5 plus A over 2, comma 3 plus B over 2. And the coordinate is actually given to be 3 and 4. So what you can do is you can now match it. So this must be equals to 3. 3 plus B over 2 must be equals to 4. Okay, and that's how you get the two equations. So you have -5 plus A over 2 equals to 3. So what you can do is to solve for A. So you can do cross multiply. -5 plus A equals to 3 times 2. So you get -5 plus A equals to 6. So A will be 6 plus 5 to be 11. Okay, so you solve for A. So on the other hand, right, the second equation, 3 plus B over 2, so is the y coordinate. So the y coordinate must be equals to the y coordinates of the midpoint. So equals to 4. So similarly, you can cross multiply. 3 plus B equals to 4 times 2. So 3 plus B equals to 8. And B equals to 8 minus 3 equals to 5. Okay, so you solve for A and B.